we are rehashing something that really angered the royal family at the time.
Of course, that controversial interview with Oprah threw up so much. There was one very famous TV presenter who actually lost their job, as we both well know.
And when she told the Cut magazine that she never signed a non-disclosure agreement, those are kind of terrifying statements if you're a member of the royal family. Or we are hearing a little bit about Meghan Markle's health again. Meghan turned 43 on Sunday, but all eyes were on her and Prince Harry's latest joint interview. They sat down with CBS to discuss the Parents Network program. Now, this is a free support service for parents in the US, UK, and Canada dealing with social media's impact on children. The pair shared their own worries for their children and stressed how important online safety is. Meghan reiterated her own battles with online bullying and mental health. She said she hoped that opening up might help others going through the same thing. I'm sure there were the best intentions here, but there has been a lot of pushback when it comes to this interview here in the States. I saw one major boutique here in LA that is always at war with Chrissy Teigen post that interview with Meghan and then say, Meghan talking about online bullying, here's Chrissy Teigen, and they went into Chrissy Teigen going after a 16-year-old girl years ago. I mean, should the focus be on the families that have lost children? Should the focus be on the children versus Meghan going back into the story we had originally heard on Oprah? Is this the right strategy for Harry and Meghan to launch this program that actually could be incredibly beneficial to the world?
Well, listen, the whole issue of mental health is something that Meghan has been passionate about for a long time. I mean, certainly before her days as a member of the royal family. Of course, that controversial interview with Oprah threw up so much. There was one very famous TV presenter who actually lost their job, as we both well know, over questioning, Meghan's mental health and the claims that she was making about her mental health. This is her opportunity to speak about her experience of mental health, and this is, and I think she says, doesn't she? She'll take, if she gets knocked about this, she'll take the hit. She'll take the hit because she thinks it's very, very important that she is talking about something that is considered a stigma. And I have to say, Kinsey, that I feel that anyone with a public platform like that is able to sort of raise awareness about mental health is ultimately doing something good. I think sort of when it comes down to that Oprah interview, of course, all the controversy over that, the racism row, the mental health claims that Meghan mentioned, all seem to come back in a rather ugly way. So I think she takes a risk in doing it, but she recognises that, and she says she's willing to take the brickbats that are going to come with it. I think in terms of this cause that they're pushing, in terms of raising awareness about online safety and protecting children in today's world when it comes to online safety is a hugely important subject, and one that absolutely needs awareness raised around it. It's something that Prince William is hugely involved with over here. Harry's also involved because he gets involved with tech giants in a different way. And I think when you consider the platforms that they've got and the profiles and the access, they're actually really powerful advocates for better online safety for children. And I think it doesn't matter what you think of Meghan Markle, whether you're a fan or not, the safety of our children online is hugely important in the world that we live in.
You did make the comment just now, though, that they did risk jeopardizing their relationship with the family a little bit. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but do you think that when they made those comments, they realized, okay, with every article that comes up about this, there's going to be chunks of comments from the Oprah Winfrey interview. We are rehashing something that really angered the royal family at the time. Do you think that she realized that there she could be creating more of a distance with some of these comments that immediately the press were going to take and link with prior statements that she'd made?
Well, listen, Meghan is certainly not stupid. She's an incredibly intelligent woman, and I think she knows that every comment that she makes is going to be dissected and analysed, and is going to generate headlines. I mean, she was slightly provocative, Kinsey, I think, in terms of when she's talking about her own experience. She sort of said she'd barely scratched the surface. I mean, that sort of, I'm not saying it was a threat, but it sort of felt quite sort of threatening, I suppose, a little ominous, in that, the suggestion being, gosh, there's so much more I could say that I haven't yet. Well, is that the plan? Is that going to be the intention, to put more information out about that period of time? We don't know is the answer. But of course, every time that subject of her emotional and mental well-being when she was part of the royal family is revisited, she obviously feels that that she was hard done by, that she wasn't heard. That only one side of the story's been out there, and it all seems to suggest that she's still got more she wants to say. And I think that is probably concerning for the royal family. But as much as it's concerning, it's also not going to do anything to help those already strained familial relationships. And I think this is part of the problem in terms of Meghan's relationship with the royal family and the wider royal family, is that there has just been such a breakdown of trust, and there is a genuine nervousness about what else she may want to say. And when she says things like, well, I've only scratched the surface, it suggests, I think, that she may well be planning to tell more of her story.
Also, when she said in the Cut interview that she discovered her journals at Frogmore Cottage and she'd forgotten that she had documented things, and when she told the Cut magazine that she never signed a non-disclosure agreement, those are kind of terrifying statements if you're a member of the royal family, or if you're in charge of controlling the royals communication department. I imagine you're looking at this going, oh no, what's on the horizon?
What's next? Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Nervousness, probably. I think it just triggers a sense of nervousness.
I just wanted to say, Katie and I want to make sure that if you are feeling emotionally distressed or suicidal, please call Samaritans for help at 116-123 if you are in the UK, or you can email joe@samaritans.org. In the United States, you can call Samaritans at 1-800-273 talk 1-800-273-talk. Really quickly before we close up, I wanted to touch base with you about the Colombia tour. This is probably one of the most shocking new developments when it comes to the Sussexes story over the last few weeks for me, because Prince Harry and Meghan have announced that they are looking forward to a trip to Colombia. Now, this is one of the world's most dangerous countries, and we spoke recently about Prince Harry's sit down with ITV, where he said, I don't feel comfortable bringing my wife back to the UK over security issues. This trip, scheduled before the first global ministerial conference on ending violence against children in November, will proceed despite travel alerts from the UK and the US governments over terrorism, civil unrest, and kidnapping risks. The US has rated Colombia at a level 3 security risk, heightening concerns about the Duke and Duchess's safety. The decision to go has sparked a major debate. I know you've probably seen some of it on TV, some of it online, especially given Prince Harry's ongoing security battle in the UK. This is a head scratcher to me. I sit back and I think, you say one thing, you do another. Is this not contradictory to your statements that you recently made about your wife's safety?
Yes, I mean, it's apparently not safe to come to the UK, but it is safe to go to Colombia. I mean, I think when we look back at the last tour that they did to Nigeria, the security was incredible there. But this was the military in Nigeria stepping up, treating the royals as if they were on an official royal tour. I mean, I suppose it's going to depend on what sort of security they get when they're on the ground. One can only imagine it's going to be at a sort of government and military level, and that they will be well protected because, of course, they don't have the benefit of royal security. I mean, that's what Harry's taking on the Home Office on about through the courts, so that he can try and get that, because he doesn't feel safe enough to bring his family to Britain. I mean, clearly they won't be taking the children to Colombia, but you and I, Kinsey, have spoken about how they are going to be doing more on the world stage. they've obviously received an invitation. They obviously feel that this is something that resonates with them and they want to do it. And clearly they feel that the trip is safe enough for them to do. But I agree with you. When they're making such a fuss about their security over here in the UK, where frankly they're incredibly safe, it does seem an unusual choice of destination. But I am sure, we don't have to wait too long to find out, that this is a trip that will generate a huge amount of coverage for them as a couple, for Colombia, for everything that's being sort of discussed at the round table that is going to take place over the course of these few days, and of course puts Harry and Meghan on the international map once again. And I think so much of this and what they're doing is about that international visibility.
Agreed. Yeah, I suspect that they are doing everything in their power to be seen as thought leaders, no matter how far they have to go. And if once you recognize that and you understand that they want to be taken seriously in this space, you can kind of wrap your head around it. But it's still, I think that they need to be more aware of how things look. In the grand scheme of things, say one thing, do another. People are going to point a finger at you and go, "Wait, you just said this."